So today I just wanted to share with you some ways to keep yourself dust free, keeping yourself from being weighed down by things that you shouldn't be weighed down by. Keeping yourself dust free is one of the things that's going to help you to live an empowered life. So the first thing I want to share with you is don't stay in a toxic place too long. A classic example of a toxic place could be a workplace. I have worked in a few toxic workplaces in my time, and I worked in traditional employment for 23 years before stepping out and starting my own business 7 years ago at the age of 41. Before that time, even though I had good jobs, the work environment of some of those places was very toxic. And what contributes to a toxic workplace is usually the people, the manner of doing things, the mindset of the people, the kind of culture of the workplace. And I just found when I was working in these types of workplaces, it made me mentally feel very, very weighed down. I had at times not the right attitude to work coming into these workplaces. And, I decided, especially in the last workplace that I had back in 2018, that it was just time to leave. I was there for 4.5 years working with some quite toxic people and the toxic culture of the workplace as well. I just decided, I had enough. And not just had enough of working in that workplace, of traditional employment altogether. I decided, it's time for me to leave and start my own thing, because no matter how good a job is, even though there weren't jobs that I, dreamed of doing, I did have good jobs. No matter how good a job is, if the workplace and the environment is toxic, it's never going to change. So that is why I decided to leave. But don't stay in a toxic place too long. Learn from my story. Don't let a toxic, for example, workplace make you have to be signed off sick, make you cry in the toilets because you just absolutely hate being there. To keep yourself dust free, it's better not to be in these work environments. And no amount of money, and I know this from experience, is ever going to change a toxic workplace. There's no point holding on to money when your mental health is being affected, when you are dreading going into that environment. And I know that people need money to live, but it's not about giving away yourself to a toxic environment or a toxic place just because of money. So that is one way you're going to keep yourself dust free. Another thing that's going to help you to stay dust free in 2026 is don't put yourself around negative, non-progressive people. I know people who are still stuck in the same place, mindset-wise, life-wise, from 2010. And what's even more shocking is that these people like where they are. They don't want to change. They have no inclination to change, no desire to change. They like where they are because where they are in life doesn't require anything from them, doesn't require change, doesn't require them to leave their comfort zone. And because of those things, they're happy where they are. But the problem is, you see, if you are somebody who has been on a self-improvement, personal development journey, you've, made positive changes in your life, you've progressed, being around these people is going to keep you stuck, and they don't appreciate you wanting to change. They will come with their negative comments. Why do you want to do that? Or when they see you do something, they've got something negative to say, or they want to remind you of how you used to be. These types of people are going to keep you dusty. They're going to keep you stuck. Their mentality and how they live their life, they're not going to appreciate all the changes that you've made, especially if you've come from the same place as them. You were once where they were in 2010, and now you've progressed and you've done all these things, and they're still stuck. They're not going to appreciate the fact that you are changing and trying to do positive things with your life. Don't surround yourself with these people. Don't surround yourself with gossips. Don't surround yourself with people who are vindictive. Don't surround yourself with non-progressive people and negative people, because they will keep you stuck. Another thing that's going to keep you dust free in 2026 is to keep learning and acquiring new knowledge. I love reading books. I love acquiring new knowledge. I just did a video the other day on a lot of people being kind of information snobs, meaning that they are snobbish about who they hear information from. And in that video I said, sometimes the most articulate people with the best pronunciation really are not saying anything of substance. Some of the videos that I've seen people who are saying a lot of things, but none of it is based in wisdom, none of it is based in adding value to anybody, but they speak so well. And I was saying in that video that I watched a video of somebody who society probably wouldn't look at as the best articulated person, didn't have the best pronunciation, but what he was sharing about his life experiences, going through trauma and how it affected his life, I found very valuable as somebody who has gone through those experiences myself. So it's about acquiring knowledge and not being a snob about who you get knowledge or information from, and to keep on learning every single day. A lot of people have this mindset that once you leave college or formal education, time for learning, the time for acquiring new knowledge is done. No, it's not done. We live in life. There's always things to learn in life. Even just when you think about technology, where technology is now, learning about all the different things you could do with technology now is very different, to the 1990s or, the early 2000s. I came up in the 80s. Internet and computers was not a big thing back then, and I'm now 49 years old and I'm still learning new things to do with technology, still acquiring new knowledge. And one of my best ways of acquiring new knowledge is reading the book of Proverbs. Proverbs is an excellent book to read if you want life wisdom. Every year I will go through the book of Proverbs, and even just in general, for me as a Christian, I find the Bible to be a real source of life information for me and knowledge. It helps me to think broader than this life and helps me to see things from a different perspective as well. So each day, try and acquire a new knowledge. Get yourself into reading books. I know not everybody nowadays is on social media and scrolling and stuff like that, but put the phone down. Try and get into some audio books if you're not really into reading paperback books, or do something where you can acquire new knowledge every day, because life is all about learning, and that is something that is going to keep you dust free. Another thing that's going to keep you dust free is to continue to do your self-improvement journey, or if you haven't started your self-improvement journey, start one, because when you seek to improve yourself, you are dusting off the old things and bringing new things to you. Self-improvement is so important. As you get older, it's not about staying in your ways or staying stuck. Seek little things each day that you can do to improve your life, to improve, how you do things. All this stuff is going to help you to keep dust free. Continue to self-improve or start that journey. You're never too old to start a self-improvement journey or to do things that will help you to personally develop as a person. The person that you was 5, 10, 15 years ago, if you're not happy with the person that you are now, you can change. You don't have to be that person that you were all those years ago. You can change and become a better version of yourself by doing little things each and every day. So the last thing I want to share with you that will keep you dust free in 2026 is to connect to the vine. Who is the vine, you may be wondering? Well, the vine is Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian, so for me, being connected to God every day through his word, the Bible, through praying, through talking to him, helps me to stay dust free. And in John 15:1 it says, I am the true vine and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. So anything that is collecting dust within me, my Father will cut off. And the things that are producing fruit within me, my God, my Father prunes. This is the thing, you see, when you are connected to a powerful source such as Jesus, he will keep you dust free. He will bring things to your attention that is collecting dust and help you to remove it. For me, that is my big secret that has helped in all the other area of things that I've shared on this video, is that I am connected to the vine, the source of life, which is Jesus Christ. And because of that, I will never stay stuck in dust, and I will continue to strive to live dust free. So that is all I wanted to share for this video. Let me know in the comments some things that collected dust in your life and how you got rid of them, and how are you keeping dust free for 2026. I would love to know. Until the next video, take care.